One of the biggest struggle people face when baking cookies is getting the right texture. You want them to be crispy on the outside and chewy on the inside, but it is hard to achieve that perfect balance without the right recipe. So in this video, I'll be sharing the world's most delicious and famous cookie recipe that anyone could make at home. So if this is your first time baking, you're in luck, because this recipe is beginners friendly. You necessarily don't have to be a baker to know how to make this. And once again, welcome back to Army Cakes YouTube channel. So for this recipe, all you need is basically just 5 ingredients, 5 major ingredients, and you're good to go. So you definitely need to work with your eggs. Yes, you need a large egg. You just need 1 egg for this recipe. So you need a large egg, and you need about half cup of white granulated sugar, and to that you'll be adding about 1/4 cup of brown sugar. So you're going to be using those two types of sugar. You need the white granulated sugar and the brown sugar, and you're going to be using your hand whisk to whisk that up for about 3 to 5 minutes. So you want to ensure at this point in time, because the recipe is not going to take a lot of while, you want to ensure at this point you've preheated your oven. And you are melting your butter. Yes, you're going to be using butter for this particular recipe, and the full and accurate measurements for each ingredient will be pinned down the comment section. So ensure you check out the comment section. So I've tried a lot of cookie recipe, and this have to be one of my best. Yes, it has to be one of my best because it comes with the right texture, that you want. That thin, you want a cookie that is crispy on the outside and chewy on the inside. You don't want your cookie to be too dry. Yes, you don't want the cookie to be too dry, and I will tell you how you could get that particular texture at the end of this video. You've been making your cookie the wrong way. You might have the right recipe, but the procedure actually matters. That's why I will plead with you to watch this video to the end if you really want to gain that end result. So I melted my butter to about half cup. If you have margarine, you could use margarine, but butter is the best because it makes the cookie just melt away in your mouth. So you want to ensure you have some butter ready. But if you don't have butter, you could actually use margarine for that. But if you have butter, I would really advise you to use that. So this cookie recipe is the base. When I say the base, meaning with this particular recipe you could make a lot of cookies from this. Yeah, you could add in cocoa powder, and you've just made yourself some double chocolate cookie. You can add in marshmallow, you can add in anything as the toppings, and you're good to go. So back to the ingredient. You need about 1 cup and 1/4 cup of flour. You could use all-purpose flour, or you use cake flour, anyone you have is fine. But if you have cake flour, I would advise you use that. So you want to ensure you sieve that using your sieve. It is paramount you use your sieve. And I'll be switching from my hand whisk to a spatula. I just want to ensure I fold in my dry ingredient. I'll also be adding some baking soda, about 1 teaspoon. Like I said, this recipe, you just need 5 ingredients. So if you have this ingredient at home, you could make yourself some yummy cookie. Yeah, you could make for your kids, you could make for your spouses, you could make for your friends and family, you could make it for a sit out. And trust me, this recipe is everything. Is everything. When I say everything, I mean it's everything. So the older I go, the earlier I realized that making cookie is so very delightful. Like, it is stress free, and it's something that could stay up to a week, 2 weeks. You could just go and pick it whenever you want to eat. You could take it with some milk, you could take it with some coffee, any thing you wish to take it with. And trust me, I made this whole thing in less than 10 to 15 minutes. Yeah, 10 to 15 minutes. So you could see the consistency. So here's the trick. After you've gotten your dough to look that way, you have to place in the fridge for about 3 to 5 minutes. That's something that a lot of people don't do. Yes, you have to ensure you place it in your fridge for about 3 to 5 minutes. It needs to rest in a cool place. So at this point, you could use your hand to mold it. I would advise you use your hand, because I realized this ice cream scoop was a little bit too big, because this recipe will spread out. When I say spread out, while baking, it would spread out to it will flatten out. It won't be this hipped when baked. So you have to ensure that where you are placing your dough, you have a lot of space in between. Yes, you have to ensure that you have a lot of space in between so that it will give it enough room to rise. You can add anything at all to this mixture. Anything you add now is up to you. You can add anything you want. You can add some chocolate, you can add some marshmallows, you can add some almonds, you can add some chocolate chips, you could add some nuts, you could add anything at all. Anything you okay with, you could add it to that. So at this point, I added some white chocolate to mine, and I was just going to just mix that. At this point, I would really advise you going in with your hands, but I was trying as much as possible not to use my hands. But if you're making this at home for yourself or your family, just use your hand to make life very easy, because it is kind of a little bit not too runny. It is kind of stiff a bit. I'm not saying it's hardened, but this is actually the right texture if you know you want to get yourself that chewy kind of cookie. This is the right texture. So if you've made it this far and you're yet to hit the subscribe to our YouTube channel, you could hit the button to subscribe, turn on post notification. You can hit the like button also. Share the recipe. If you find this video helpful, you could comment. This is one way a small YouTube channel like this grow. We need your comments, we need your engagement, we need your like, we need you subscribing, because that's the way you're telling this channel to not give up. That's a way of you communicating with us that we are really trying. So you want to ensure you've preheated your oven to about 180 degree or 190 degree, and you bake for about 15 to 20 minutes, and bring it out to cool off before eating it. So I just added some chocolate to mine. Like I said, you could add anything at all. It's not a must you mix it in the dough. You could just add it on top if you just want it to be on top of it, or you could mix it with the dough, any which way. So if you know you'll be trying this recipe, I want you to comment that you'll be trying. So after baking, this is what I got. And yes, I left it to cool off, removed it from the parchment paper, and this is what I got. At this point, it was still kind of warm, but you could see how chewy this is. It's crispy on the outside and chewy in the inside. This is just the perfect recipe for you and for your kids. That is all for today's own video. If you have any question, you could ask, and I would see you in the next video we'll be posting. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. If you made it this far, congrats. And you just discovered one of the world's most famous and delicious cookie. So see you in the next video. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, share, and comment. Bye for now. Thanks for watching.